Welcome, nominees. We are excited to be among the first to congratulate you on your nomination as your chapter's Collegian of the Year. We know you've dedicated much time to your studies, your chapter, and Delta Sigma Pi. We appreciate that investment and look forward to recognizing your accomplishments. My name is Kaylee Lott, and I serve as the National Scholastic Development and Awards Chair. I'm joined by Christian Loeb, the 2022 National Collegian of the Year, and Brendan Fader, the 2021 Collegian of the Year. Taking your questions in the chat and following this presentation is Director of Chapter Services, Tyler Havens. Now that the introductions are out of the way, let's talk a little about the Collegian of the Year program. The Collegian of the Year program has now spanned over 50 years. This is the highest honor the fraternity can bestow on one of its collegiate members. National COY serve as members of the Board of Directors, which we'll discuss in a bit more detail in a moment, and have recently launched and chaired a committee of collegiate members to discuss fraternity matters and the potential impact on collegiate members across the country. It comes with many recognitions and rewards at the regional, provincial, and national levels. Committees of alumni members review and select winners at the regional, provincial, and national levels. All nominees within a region are considered for that region's recognition. All of the regional winners within a province are considered for that province's recognition. And finally, the 5 provincial winners are considered for the National Committee for the national winner. To be eligible as a nominee, you must be a collegiate member in good standing and nominated by your chapter no later than October 15th. Chapters may only nominate one of their members per year. There are a number of items that regional, provincial, and the national awards committees will consider as they review the applications. On your screen, in this order of importance, is what the awards committees will be considering when selecting the Collegian of the Year. First is fraternity involvement. This doesn't just mean the officer roles you've held. What about committee involvement locally, regionally, provincially, or even nationally? Next is your attendance at inter-chapter fraternity events, including, but not limited to, Grand Chapter Congress, lead schools, provincial lead conferences, but also things like have you assisted in regional in-person or virtual initiations, involvement in starting a new chapter. Third is what are your goals as a member of the Board of Directors if selected as National Collegian of the Year? Degree of leadership exhibited in Delta Sigma Pi is the next criteria. This will be where you tell the committee about your fraternity involvement beyond listing it out resume style. University and community involvement in leadership. Our Collegians of the Year have been and should be well-rounded and involved in their collegiate experience and be able to bring that to the role. Scholastic aptitude, or GPA, is part of being well-rounded and is excelling in the classroom as well. Finally, there's an opportunity to add additional supporting documents. There's no obligation to upload any additional documents such as letters of recommendation, but that opportunity is available. Other criteria that will be considered include, in no particular order, ability to represent the fraternity on the National Board of Directors, leadership ability, dependability, reliability, honesty, integrity, and sincerity, moral character, personality, and professional attitude.
By now you should have received an email with a unique link to your COY application. If you don't believe you received that, check all your known email accounts and spam folders. If after looking for a while you can't seem to find it still, that's quite alright. Send an email to the awards@dsp.org and central office staff would be able to assist you further. Your application will contain basic contact information such as name, address, and phone number, as well as membership information such as chapter you were initiated at, the date of your initiation, and your expected graduation date. All those fun dates. It will also ask you for Delta Sigma Pi activities, positions, honors, including offices, committee positions, and or other leadership positions that you've held within Delta Sigma Pi. You'll want to indicate when and for how long you held each position. Note any local chapter, regional, provincial, or even national honors that you have received. List and describe any regional or national fraternity events you have attended. And finally, Grand Chapter Congresses, leads, and other large fraternity gatherings should be listed here as well. Nominees should excel outside of the chapter, as we all know. Discussing any involvement in other extracurricular activities, leadership roles, and or honors are an important part of this application. This also includes any employment or internships you may have had leading up to this point. And obviously, we also want our collegians of the year to excel in the classroom, so academic information is asked as well. Nominees are asked to complete 2 essays. One that will discuss what your plans would be if you were selected as the National Collegian of the Year, and the others describe what makes you a leader. Finally, there is an opportunity to type in or upload additional documents to support your application, and a form to release your transcripts. Please do not send your transcripts to central office. You'll just need to complete the release and we will handle it from there. As mentioned before, there are a number of recognitions that come with each level for a Collegian of the Year. For just being nominated by your chapter, nominees receive a certificate of recognition and are listed in an up-and-coming issue of the Delta Sig, the fraternities magazine. Those individuals who are selected as a Regional Collegian of the Year, in addition to the certificate and being listed on the Delta Sig, will also receive a Pearl and Ruby badge, a cash award for educational purposes thanks to the gifts made to the Kitchens and Elrod and Sparks Scholarship through the Delta Sig Leadership Foundation, and be announced at a national event. And as I mentioned before, regional winners are considered at the provincial level.
Awesome, thanks so much. So should your application be selected as the provincial winner from the North Central, Northeastern, South Central, Southern, or Western provinces, you will take home all the recognitions won at the regional level and will also receive a $500 scholarship for graduate studies that occur within 5 years of the award date. This is again through the generous gifts of the Leadership Foundation by the Mr. and Mrs. Sydney Sparks. And like the regional winners, provincial winners are then considered for the national recognition. If you are the standout application and are recognized as the National Collegian of the Year, that $500 scholarship becomes a $5,000 scholarship for continued studies. You will receive a commemorative plaque, and most importantly, the National Collegian of the Year will serve a 2-year term as a voting member on the National Board of Directors. We hope that all Collegians of the Year, regardless of what level they're recognized at, remain involved in the organization for years to come. Now, as we look to the Board of Directors' responsibilities, think of your COY application almost as a job application. Because with great recognition also comes great responsibility, much of which can occur when the winner is transitioning from campus to career life. Board responsibilities can require several hours of time per week and sometimes require travel that may be partially self-funded. It is important for members to know these responsibilities at the National Collegian of the Year before applying. You will engage and seek feedback, thoughts, and ideas from collegiate members and communicate those viewpoints to the fraternity's governing bodies. You will attend and actively participate in national fraternity events, such as lead activities, GCC, regular board meetings, President's Academy, and others. You'll serve on the National Organizational Development Committee and other committees and task force as assigned. You will also assist in the development and implementation of annual plans to help educate members about the Collegian of the Year program and encourage their participation in the program. While the National Collegian of the Year is on the board, the provincial and regional winners are involved in the fraternity in many other ways and support the continued engagement and prosperity of the organization. And now we'll kind of transition into some words of wisdom. My advice for the majority of the application is to share the important details of the impact that you made. It's great to understand your job, duties, and responsibilities, but understanding how you truly made a unique contribution that changed the trajectory or outcome of the organization is incredibly important. As far as the essays go, I would make sure you have a really strong understanding of what the National Collegian of the Year does, so that way, if chosen, you are equipped to understand your duties and obligations as appointed to the Board of Directors. Congratulations again, and best of luck throughout the rest of the application process.
So my words of advice come from 2 points of view. The first is don't put this off or don't do this all at once, because it can be a very dense application at times, but every single thing counts. And that's how it kind of bleeds into my second point is don't sell yourself short. Every committee position, every major project you had, every leadership role, every scholarship, this is a chance for you to show what you've done so far in your college career. And not only within Delta Sigma Pi, but again, just through your university or college. We want to hear about it. We want to know what our brothers are up to, and we don't want you to sell yourself short by any means. Don't put it off. I'm going to reiterate, don't do that.
And I'll wrap us up with words of wisdom here and just say that while in many respects, this is going to feel like a resume when you get in that application and start filling it out. And there's certainly elements of that. Ultimately, you're telling us the story of you, your experiences, your skills, your passions, your goals, and why these things add up to you really being a collegian of the year. So I really urge you to spend some time reflecting with that in mind before beginning your application, so you're really able to tell that cohesive story. Okay, so where is the application and what are the deadlines? Once your chapter has completed the nomination form in the hub, the nominee will receive an email with a unique link to their application. With this unique link, your application will come pre-populated with some information. As you are working on the application, you can save it along the way. Be careful not to click on Save and Submit prior to completing your application. Once it is submitted, it cannot be unsubmitted, and your application will be evaluated based on whatever information you had inputted when you hit submit. I'm going to say that again. Once your application is submitted, it cannot be unsubmitted. Your application will be evaluated based on what was inputted when you hit submit. Please be careful. This has come up in the past. We will not be unsubmitting applications. I do recommend working on essays and information in Word or Google Docs and then cutting and pasting into the application. Both of these software features have a word count feature, which will be helpful for you as you think about inputting that information. Your applications are due by 11:59 p.m. local time, November 15th. No late applications will be considered. Regional awards teams will have about a month to review all the applications for their region and to select a winner and report those to the provincial award teams. Provincial award teams will then have about a month to review the regional winners and to select the winner for their province. Then finally, the National Committee will review the applications of the 5 provincial winners to select the National Collegian of the Year. Before we turn the program back over to our staff liaison, Tyler Havens, we did want to remind you that all of the requirements for your application and what is considered is covered in the National Awards and Recognition Guide at dsp.org/awards. I really look forward to seeing all of your applications over the course of the next couple months, and I know we are looking forward to welcoming you into the ranks of National Collegians of the Year.